Hi, this is Ilma Art Studios photograph for today. It's a beautiful Bird of Paradise arrangement that I took a picture of on a floral competition in Toronto. Hi, check my website at ilmaarts.com for more artworks and photographs. Today I'd like to share James 2 verse 1. It says, "My dear brothers and sisters, how can you claim to have faith in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ if you favor some people over others?" Here's my poem. If you favor some over others. The Lord made us in the Lord made us all in his own image and likeness. We can all live like him in righteousness. He wants us to love all our sisters and brothers. So don't favor someone else over others. If you give preference to someone over another, you are doubting God's creation and his character. If you are a believer in our glorious Jesus, you will treat everyone as very precious. Here's my essay. When God created the first man and woman, he patterned them in his own image. Let's not forget that we are all seen by God equally. He is a fair and just God, and he is not impartial to anyone. He loves all people. In Romans 5:8, he proved that he immensely loved us all. He sent his one and only Son while we were still sinners. God may hate the sins that we engage in, but he always loves the person he created. He is patient with all of us and can understand where we are all coming from. He gives grace and mercy equally to all, but he will never force us to do what he says. The book of James challenges us to look into the issue of giving favor to some over others. Prayer. Lord, help me never to give preference to others over another person. Reflection. What do you think is the source of favoritism or discrimination? I think there are many various factors that may cause prejudice for other people. Maybe, in fact, I know when I was growing up, there is this there is this stigma that was handed down to me that we are poor and that we don't associate with the rich. And I don't know, like it goes the same way. Some people belittle, but others actually put themselves down and compare themselves to others. I think it's both a sin to do that, because though God created us all equal, he made us all different from each other. That's the magnificence of God, because he is so creative that he made all our DNA are all different. We're not all alike in some manner, but he loves us all, and he created us all in his image. So a part of us is good because we are made in his likeness. Now, the source of favoritism that I have observed may have been maybe they had experiences that they were judged and discriminated. For example, I know that my father's father, who is my grandfather, my paternal grandfather, actually died when he was probably just 4 years old. So he wasn't really, he didn't grow up with a dad to look up to. And they were robbed from the bookstore that my grandfather owned by the uncle of my dad. So, in other words, he never really felt like he belonged to somebody. So he always had this point of discrimination over those who are rich, because he grew up without an identity. He grew up without belonging to somebody. So the source of his sort of favoritism is, or the sort of his prejudice or preference, lies in the fact that he wasn't treated well. So he proved and proved. It became like a proving thing for him to prove to others that he's good at what he does. And so his prejudice on people who do not persevere, his prejudice on people who are lazy. And I remember that it's almost like a sin in our house to wake up late, because his idea that people who don't wake up early are lazy people, and that they are not going to have their own, will not be able to work to gain whatever they need to gain. So another form of prejudice may be from sometimes it could be from an insecurity that and from a social class mentality. So this is from the world that it's coming from. It's not coming from God. So this social class mentality that I'm rich or poor, because that's not how God sees rich and poor. For God, rich are those who are intimate with Him, and poor are those who are away from Him. But the world looks at it like differently. The poor are the ones who are who doesn't have money, or material things, but the rich are the ones who have all this. So there are very different standards with the world and with God's standards. So I think that if you look at somebody just like how God is, you probably won't have any favoritism or prejudice over someone, because you see that everyone is all equally loved by God, and they all receive equally the same mercy every day, as in Lamentations say, a fresh mercy each and every morning. So I invite you to focus on the character of God, because God is a very just God, and He never has favoritism or discrimination, and He accepts people as they are. And even though sometimes we fall short of His glory, we're sinners, He still loves us. So thanks for watching, and I hope you check my website at ilmaarts.com for more artworks and photographs. Have a blessed day.